Hello everyone. In part 1 of SQL tutorial, we discussed about what is database and what is DBMS and what is RDBMS and how a table looks like, right? So now in this tutorial, we'll be discussing about SQL statements and different types of SQL statements we have. So without any further delay, let's get started. Before that, please like, share and subscribe my channel for more videos like this. Okay. uh, First one is SQL statements. A SQL statement is a set of instructions that consists of identifiers, parameters, variables, names, data types, and SQL reserved words that compile successfully. Most of the actions you need to perform on a database are done with the SQL statements. It means, so earlier we discussed about what is database and how a database looks like, right? So now database, if you wanted to create any database, and if you wanted to create any objects inside database, we'll be using SQL statements. Okay, so there are so many types of database statements. So perhaps the most important is the select one. So by using select statement, we can retrieve rows and columns from a database. Okay, so here is an example below. I mentioned like select star from employees, here TBL employees. So here TBL employees is a table name. Okay, and select is a SQL statement which tells SQL server to select the columns and fields from a TBL employees. Here star is the all the rows and columns from the TBL employees. Okay, so by this we'll fetch all the fields, I mean columns and rows from that table. Okay, so we have different types of SQL statements. Okay, so those are, you can see here. um, so create, alter, drop, truncate, select, insert, update, delete, rollback, commit, grant and revoke. So based on the work of those statements, so we divided into 4 groups. Okay, so first one is DDL. So we'll be discussing about the group level one by one. Okay, so the first one is DDL. So data definition language. So in data definition language, we have 4 kind of statements, that is create, alter, drop and truncate. Okay, so we'll be discussing about create first. Okay, so create command is used to create a database or its objects like tables, indexes, functions, views, store, procedures and triggers. So you are hearing an objects, right? So in database, everything inside that is an object, like whatever it is, like table or index or function or view or store procedure or trigger. So these are all are comes under objects. We'll be calling it as an objects. Okay, so this the syntax you can see here. The syntax for creating a table is create table, table name and column and data type of and size of the column. So this is a syntax for that. So syntax is nothing but a skeleton how we create and how we use a query or statement. Okay, so here is an example for that, to create a table. So now we are creating a table called a TBL employee. So here is the create statement. Okay, which used to create a table. Here we are telling like what we are going to create. We are going to create table. Okay, so what is the table name here? TBL employee. So TBL employee table we are creating. So what are the fields we wanted to define in this? So customer ID. Okay, so customer ID. So customer ID, here customer ID is a field. Okay, so which is a data type integer. Okay, so integer, what is integer? Int means it's a data type. Okay, it is a data type which tells this type of the column. Okay, data type of the column, like what type of data we are storing it in the customer ID. Okay, like that way. So here primary key is a key which is a constraint. So for this table, for this particular field, so we'll be more discussing about the constraints. Okay, this will comes under constraint. Okay, so next one is customer name. Here customer name is a field which is of data type varchar. So in programming language like C Sharp or Java, so we'll use a string for storing any characters, a group of characters, right? So for that we use here the data type is varchar. Instead of string we mention varchar. And what is the type of that? Size of the column. So from 0 to 50 characters it will store. 0 to the length of the it will define the length of the customer name field. Okay, so this is how we'll create a table. So now in the real time example we'll create one database and table with the create command. So switching to SQL Server. So now I wanted to create a database. Now you can see in our databases, so there are two other databases, ignore them. So now I wanted to create a new database, that is create database name. What I wanted to create, employee underscore management, or employees DB. Okay, so just select this and just execute it. You can see here below in the output window, you can see commands completed successfully, right? So it means this query is executed, this statement is executed successfully. So now go to the Object Explorer and just click on the databases and just refresh it. So you can see a new database has created with the name employees. You can expand it. You can see several folder structure here. Okay, so inside that we have a tables folder. So inside for tables folder we have default folders like system tables, file tables, external tables, and graph tables. So for now you can ignore it, we will be exploring this in the later videos. So if we wanted to create our own tables, how can we create? So by using, as we discussed in the slide, so we can create a table by using create statement. Okay, so we'll create. Before that, if we wanted to use our database, okay, what is our database? Employees. So if we wanted to create our database, we have to use that first. So by using use statement, we can select our database. So as of now, the master database is selected by default, but I wanted to use my database that is called employees. Just execute. Sorry, so there is an employees, there is a spelling mistake. Okay, we'll use this. Just execute it. Now commands completed successfully. It means the statement is executed successfully, and you can see here the selected database is employees. Okay, so now if I wanted to create any database, any table in this, I can use a create table. What is the table name that I wanted to create? A tbl underscore employees. Okay, so inside I have to create I give field names like customer id. What is the data type? Integer. Primary key I wanted to give, and now a name of the customer name, varchar 50 I wanted to give, and age of type data type integer. Yeah, that's it for now. Okay, just select this, or if you want to execute it, because we don't have any other statements, right? So we just click on execute. You can see here commands completed successfully. Now go to Object Explorer and see in the tables folder we don't have any tables, right? Just refresh it. You can see our table that we have created just now. Okay, so just expand this and you can see columns, keys, constraints, triggers, indexes, and statistics, right? So just expand these columns. You can see here, so whatever the columns that we have given in this while creation, so the customer id, customer name, and age, those will be appear here. Okay, so with the data types you can see age, what is the data type? Integer. It will allow null. Okay, so customer name, you can see here varchar 50, something like that. Okay, so now this is how we'll use a create statement to create a database and create a table. Okay, so the next statement is alter. The alter statement is used to uh, alter the table. It means adding a new column, or removing an existing column, or modifying an existing column. So by using alter, we can do all these things. Okay, so the syntax for altering is, for adding a new column of for an existing table, you can use alter table name. Okay, and add, what we wanted to add, do adding a new column, right? Add column name and data type. Okay, so like this we can do. And same thing for drop. For alter table name, what we wanted to do here, we wanted to drop an existing column, right? So drop column and that column name. Okay, so this is how we can drop on existing column. Okay, so modifying an existing table. Okay, alter table name, and alter column. Okay, so what I want to do here is, I wanted to modify the data type of the or update data type of the column, right? So for that, I'll use alter column. Okay, so in practical we'll see. Okay, switching to SQL Server Management Studio. So here in our table, we have, in our TBL employees table, we have customer ID and customer name and age, right? So now I wanted to add one more field, that is phone. Okay, so now I'll use, for that I'll use alter statement. Okay, alter table TBL underscore employees, add column. What is that column name here? Phone, right? Phone. What is the data type? Int. Okay, just a int. So now if you execute this, sorry, we don't need to mention column here. Yeah, comments completed successfully. Okay, so this, it means the statement is executed successfully. So now go to our object explorer and just click on columns and just refresh it. You can see one new field is added to the our existing TBL employees table, that is phone, of data type integer. So this is how we can alter an existing table to add a new column. Okay, so now if you wanted to add, or sorry, um, if you next, what is that, next you wanted to drop an existing table, existing field, right? We'll see that. So before that, what we can do is, we'll see the we'll update the, we'll modify first. Okay, we'll modify the existing field data type. Okay, so now I wanted to modify, like, alter table TBL underscore employees, alter column phone, no, not phone. I wanted to update customer name, customer name of data type. Now, so now you can see here, alter column name and column type. Okay, so as you can see, the customer type by default, what we have given 50 length of the column, right? Varchar 50. Now I wanted to update it to 60. Okay, so now just select this statement and just execute it. Something is missing. Customer name. Oh, sorry. Varchar 60, right? Okay, you can see. So now commands completed successfully. All right. So now you can see here, just refresh it. So now you can hover it. You can see customer name of varchar 60. Okay, earlier it is like 50. No, so now what you want to observe is we have added a new column and we have updated an existing column. Okay, so now if you wanted to drop an existing column, what we can do? Okay, see here. So drop. Okay, so alter table tbl underscore employees drop column, will drop our phone column. Okay, so just select this and just execute it. You can see here commands completed successfully. Okay, so you go to the object explorer and select the columns and just refresh it. You can see the phone column will be gone. Okay, so this is how we can use alter statement here. Okay, so next, so in ddl the next command, next statement is drop. So drop, it is used to delete both the structure and records stored in a table. So before discussing about the drop, we'll discuss about the truncate. Okay, so truncate, it is used to delete all the rows from the table and free the space containing the table. So the syntax is um, truncate table table name. Okay, so it means I'm saying that truncate table of table inside inside the data which is having in the tbl employee. Okay, so we'll see how we can do that. So before that, I wanted to get the information about the tbl employee. So inside we don't have any data, right? So we'll use insert into tbl employees. So for now I am adding some dummy data. So now we have two rows in our table, right? tbl employees. Okay, so now if you wanted to truncate, like if you wanted to clear all the data inside this tbl employees, so what we can do is we can just use a truncate statement. Okay, okay, so truncate table tbl underscore employees. Just select the statement and just execute it. You can see here commands completed successfully. Now select all the rows from the tbl employees. You can see there is no data. So this is how we can, by using truncate, we can delete all the data, or we can truncate all the data inside tbl employees. Okay, so next, so we'll see drop. We'll discuss about drop. So it is, a drop is used to delete both the structure and records. By using truncate, we just deleted, or we just truncated the data inside a tbl employees. But if we wanted to drop a table, or if we wanted to remove a table from the database completely, so by use how we can do is we can do by using drop. So the syntax is here. You can see drop table, that table name that we wanted to remove from our database. Okay, so here you can see the example drop table, that table name tbl employees. Okay, so now just switch to our tbl employees, sorry, Visual SQL Server Studio. So you can use drop a table Okay, so by using drop table tbl employees, select the statement and just execute it. You can see commands completed successfully, right? So go to the object explorer and just click on tables, just refresh it. So you can see the table has gone. Okay, the tbl employees is not part of this employees now. Okay, so this is how we can delete or drop an existing table from the database. Okay, so now next topic is DML. So DML stands for data manipulation language. So by using data manipulation language, what we can do is we can manipulate the data of a database of existing. Okay, so inside that we have a select and insert and update and delete. So we'll be discussing about first select. So by using select, by as we discussed, we can retrieve all the data from a table, right, or multiple tables, right? So you can see the syntax here, like select multiple columns. If you want to select 2 columns you want only, then you can mention like this. Otherwise you can use star like this. Okay, from on table name like this. So switching to our SQL Server Management Studio. So select. Okay, select star from. So now we don't have any table, right? Just recreate that table. Okay, we have created. You can see here. Just refresh it. Yeah, now we have a table, and just insert some data. Yeah, now we have 2 rows affected. So select the star from tbl underscore, sorry, tbl underscore employee. So tbl employees. So now you can see, so select the star from tbl employees. So now we are getting 2 rows from the tbl employees table. So we have 2 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so now if you wanted to select, if you wanted to get only customer id and customer name, you can mention like customer id comma customer name. See, now we get only customer ID and customer name, not age also. So if you wanted to get only customer ID, you can select customer ID. Like this way, you can use select statement. Okay, so next is insert statement. The insert statement is a SQL query. It is used to insert data into rows of a table. Okay, it means if you wanted to add more columns or sorry, more rows, it means data. If you want to insert more data, it means rows, we can use, we'll use insert statement. So the statement is a little bit different from the previous. Okay, so you can see here the syntax is insert into. Okay, insert into table. Okay, what is the table name we have to we are inserting, so that we have to give, and the columns of the table and values, what are the values to the corresponding columns we have to mention here. So this is how we'll insert a record. So example, you can see here, insert tbl employee. Okay, and columns customer id, customer name, last name, country, age and phone, and the values is like this. Okay, so we'll see with an example. So switch to SQL Server Management Studio, write an insert statement. Okay, so insert into tbl underscore employees. Okay, customer id comma customer name comma age, values. So what is the type data type for the customer ID? So the first field is customer ID, right? So what is the data type for this? So we have already created, right? So what is the data type? Int. So it will take only integer values. That for that, so that's why I'm giving ID as integer. Okay, and what is the data type for the customer name? It is an varchar, as we know already, right? So that's why I'm giving this customer name as a string or varchar, we can say. Okay, so I'm giving a code surface. Okay, so now, and what is the other field we have? This age, right? In age, what is the data type? It is also an integer, so that's why I'm giving 23. Okay, just execute it. So one row affected, because one record we have inserted, so that's why it is showing one row affected. So just execute this select command again. You can see the third row is inserted. Okay, new data has been inserted into our TBL employees. So if you wanted to pass only customer ID and customer name, just remove this column, and you don't need to pass this value. Okay, so as we are inserting only customer ID and customer name. Okay, so I'm just modifying it and just giving a surface. Okay, so just execute this. You can see still one row is affected. Okay, what will be stored in our age field? Then we are not giving any value, right? You can just see it. So a null value, because so as you can see here in our columns, it will allow null. Okay, you can see age int, this is int, is that int is what is that integer here? So int is a data type, right? And it will allow null values. If you don't want to allow null values while creating a table, so you have to mention like not null. Okay, so if you do like this, then if you don't pass any value while inserting a record into table, then it will be throwing an error. Okay, so this is how insert statement will be using. Okay, so next, so update. The update statement is used to update the existing data in our database. Okay, so syntax for that is you can see here, update table set column name we have to give here. Okay, equal to what is the value, new value, and condition. If you want to add any condition, you can use, otherwise it will update all the records in our database. Make sure that. Okay, the example is update table set name equal to some value and where customer ID equal to 1. Okay, here you can see a new thing like where. This is a where condition or filter, we can say. Okay, so we'll see in a practical example in our SQL Server. Let's switch to SQL Server Management Studio. So now I wanted to update this value. Okay, the customer name of customer ID 1. Okay, so what we can do is update, what we want to update table table name TBL employees. Okay, sorry, we don't need to give table here. Update table name set customer name equal to what we wanted to give here. Here you can see the upper and lower case like so I wanted to update like JOHN. Okay, so now where customer ID equal to 1. So by using this, we just update, you can see here one row updated. Okay, so now do select star from TBL employees. So you can see the name got updated. Okay, without giving this where condition, what it will happen is, okay, it will set name John for all the records. You can see it here. Just update. Now you can see earlier it by executing this one row is affected. Now so with this only up to this we executed, then it affected 4 rows. Now now see the magic. So now the customer name for all this updated with John, because of there is no where condition. So keep in mind that we have to use a where condition when we wanted to update any record, only for that particular record it should be updated, then we have to use a where condition. okay, with a unique ID. Okay, so this is how we can do that. Okay, so now if I wanted to update a name with some Smith. Okay, Smith, if I wanted to update based on the age, for example, age 23. So those who are having age 23, those records will be updated with customer name with Smith. Okay, just execute this. You can see two rows got affected. Okay, just execute this, select star from table, TBL employees. Now you can see Smith is Smith, customer name Smith, for 23 age got updated. Okay, so this is how we'll use update statement. Okay, so the next one is delete. So delete existing record in a table. Okay, can be deleted using a SQL delete statement. We can delete a single record or multiple records, but depending on the condition we specify in the where class. So the syntax is here you can see delete from table name, where condition we have to give something like we have given in here. Okay, so like example, delete from TBL employees. If you do like this, you can lost or you can delete, you will be deleting all the record from the table. Okay, so and delete from TBL employee where customer ID equal to 1 means the customer ID which is having 1, that record only will be deleted. Okay, so we'll practically we'll see how it would be. Switch to the SQL Server Management Studio. So now we are looking into delete, right? Delete. So what is the syntax for this? Delete from table, delete from the table name where condition. Okay, delete from TBL underscore employees where first we will be delete based on the condition. You can see. So now I wanted to delete with customer ID 4. Okay, customer where customer ID equal to 4. Okay, so just execute this statement. You can see one row affected. So now execute this select command. You can see 3 records only we have. Okay, so now if you execute this command without this condition, we can call it as a condition, right? So without this condition, what will happen? Just execute it. You can see the magic. So 3 rows are affected. So now just execute the select again statement again. You can see there is no data. Okay, we lost all the data. So keep in mind that when we are doing the delete, so we have to be very cautious. So are we applying any condition or not? uh, we have to be very cautious, otherwise the data will be lost. Okay, be very cautious on this delete statement and truncate as well. So yeah, you will be getting one doubt in this, like what is the difference between delete and truncate? Okay, we'll be discussing in the later. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so the other groups are TCL, transactional control language. So a transactional control group is a set of tasks into a single execution unit. Okay, each transaction begin with a specific task and ends when all the tasks in a group successfully complete. If any any of the tasks fail, the transaction will be failed. Okay, therefore a transaction has only two results: a success or failure. Okay, for example, it means for example, in this TCL we have a two statements, right? Commit and rollback. So when will be use commit and when will be use rollback? So we'll see. For example, go to the SQL Server Management Studio. So now I wanted to insert a new record and update an existing record. I wanted to do the same thing at the same time. So what I will do is I'll add these two, okay, statements into my script. Then I'll execute it. If this statement is success, even if this statement is success and this statement is failed, then what I want to do is I wanted to roll back both the statements. But if I do this if I do like this straight away, so what will happen is if this is failing, this won't stop. Already insert statement is executed, so new record is already there in our database. Okay, so if I wanted to do a rollback when any of the SQL statement is failing, I don't want to execute the other also. So in that case, so we'll use rollback, commit and rollback. If the both statements are running successfully, then only commit will work. Okay, otherwise the rollback should be executed so that both the statements will be rolled back, and any of the rows or any of the rows will not be affected from our in our database. So this is what the TCL. So next one is DCL, data control language. So DCL includes commands such grant and revoke, which mainly deals with the rights, permissions, and other controls of the database system. It means, for example, say admin rights and user rights you can consider, like, so few of the members will have only read permissions. So we divided, for example, some developers will be having only select commands they can only access, and some of them can do modifications. Okay, some of them can do other data definition languages also they can modify. Okay, so if you want to do that, we can create a users for them, and we can pass those credentials, and we'll be granting those permissions whatever they want. For example, one user want only select and update on table. Okay, then we'll grant those permissions only, select and update. Okay, so whereas revoke, for example, in some after few days, a user is using update command, update statement thoroughly, and they he is doing some irrelevant data is updating. So then what we can do is we can control it by using a revoke. We can revoke their update permissions by using revoke statements. Okay, so like this we can do data control language also. Okay, hope you understand about the what is SQL statements and different type of SQL statements. Okay, so thanks for watching. Have a nice day.